It's a return to the island like no other here at Thorpe Park. It's an off-peak day today. I'm only going to do a couple of rides, but we'll give you an update of what's going on in the preparation for Fright Nights, which kicks off, it's only like 3 weeks' time on the 3rd of October. We've got some returning mazes and some new scare zones which are being set up at the moment. So we're going to do some rides and we'll show you what's going on. Surprisingly windy here at Thorpe Park actually, because I kind of knew this side would open first and it has. So I've done Swarm and Stealth, but we want to show you obviously the construction of what's going on around here as they prepare for the new stage, which they are currently building now, and this will be for the high school. So it's being built at the moment. As you can see, there are people in here. Quite a big stage actually, to be fair. Looks like we're going to have some good lighting, some good rigs. Yeah, bearing in mind they've just sort of had a flat one here the last couple of years and not a lot going on. This is a much bigger improvement. So this is one of the shows for this year, and there's plenty around as well which we'll be able to show you. We have found a wild Kurt as well, who made the mistake of going over that side first, even though I told him not to.
I have done more rides than you.
Well, I mean, he's lapped Stealth 5 times. Stealth is literally walk on, and then you can get back off and get straight back on it. Now, one thing we want to point out to all the people that seem to think there's a coaster coming to that island first, no one's pointed out they put a phone mast on it, right in the middle of the island where everyone thinks a roller coaster is going. There's a phone mast there now. Now, from what we know, that isn't the site for the next roller coaster. It's not that island, and that kind of secures the fact that they've put that phone mast right in the middle of it. Rumba River Rapids is closed for the season, a little bit earlier than last year, although it hasn't been open quite late for a long time. Now, it does say returning in 2026, which it has said for the past couple of years. I think this is the first year I've been a bit more on the fence about it. We have told you before the sign come up the last couple of years that the ride would be returning, and again they did do some work on it over the closed season, so I kind of wouldn't be expecting them to do the work they did on it if they weren't planning to keep it for a few years. But it does say it's returning in 26. I get the feeling that even if it does, I have a feeling tomorrow next year might be its last. Lucifer's Lair is returning for 2025. And it's very rare actually you get to kind of see the basis of the stage without all the props and everything on it. But it's remained unchanged for the last couple of years. Been a really popular show, to be fair. I wouldn't say they're shaping up Fright Nights too much this year. But, it's quite a good event, to be honest with you, so no real reason not to. But the stage is set here by the Ghost Train and will make part of the Fright Night celebrations. It was rumoured it wouldn't be back for this year, however, it will be back. Trailers will be back for this year. It looks like they might be putting some new scenes in just from the posters and things that have been put up, but that's not been confirmed by anyone, sort of only the posters. It does look like it's going to be slightly different, potentially. Again, I do think it might be its last year. I think next year they will probably have to have a little bit of a shape up for Fright Nights, and I imagine that Trailers has served them really well, and it's a fantastic maze. You get a good run through on that. It can be quite scary, to be fair, along with the story that it tells as well. But yeah, Trailers also returning for 2025. For an off-peak day, I have to say, that queue is full. I'm a bit judgy on the 65 minutes, I'm not convinced it is. I've just had a go on that. I'm going to say it, I know it's not going to be popular, it's rough. I'm really sorry, it still doesn't ride well. There we go. But we wanted to get a look at Morecambe Meadow because it's one of the best places to look at it, and you can see the route change on it because you can't get that close. You can't really see much of it, but we are going to go over there now and show you that. But we'll check Samurai on the way past as well. Of course, on the way past as well, Deadbeat will also be returning for 2025. Fright Nights runs from the 3rd of October through to the 2nd of November, so a little bit later this year. And we will obviously be down for Fright Nights at some point to check out the mazes. Now, we haven't been for a month or so, and last time we come we did notice the fences here weren't here, but the ones have been put up over by the Hyperion queue. However, they have now been extended round, which is nice really, because they did the landscape in here and then people just walk and trundle through and go in and out of here, and it's just not very good. It's a bit of a shame it probably hasn't gone all the way around, because I guess people could still cut through, but it's definitely a start, and I think it will grow up really nicely here and people probably now won't go through, but a lovely addition, to be fair. Here is Samurai. Now, Samurai always seems to have a problem around about the Fright Nights time. I don't know why, but it always does seem to. However, it has now been closed for 5 weeks, which is fairly unusual, to be honest with you. And it doesn't really look like they're working on it, to be fair. It did have a big refurbishment not that long ago, but bless it, it is quite old. It's been around since 1999. It's one of the sort of earlier top scan models. Yeah, no work going on in today. Morecambe Meadow will return for this year. Everyone's saying it's got a new route. Quite honestly, I'd expect them to have a fairly new route, because they do sort of build it, take it down every year, and then just put it back up, really how they want to put it back up. So it kind of makes sense to shake this one up a bit over the other ones, and it's developed massively over the last few years. I remember when we first come, it was very much just sort of a walkthrough of a few hay barrels, and now you've got inside parts, you've got kind of more direction, more maze-like of it. And actually it's a really good use of space as a walkthrough, and quite a quick walkthrough as well. Here is an overview of Morecambe Meadow, which is being built up at the moment. A little bit of painting going on. And of course the barn building at the end. Yeah, really underrated this. Really underrated experience. The Toy Emporium is back, and Stitches again returns for 2025. It's got a nice fascia to it. Once it's all sort of done and dusted and all of these boxes are up, it does look really, really cool, and it's a great maze. Again, they've got some good quality mazes here that probably don't need shaping up quite yet. I think they'll have another good year here. But it looks like it's ready to go. Zodiac is another ride that hasn't fared too well in 2025. This, in fact, has been closed now for over 2 months. And again, really doesn't look like a lot's happened. So you can see that one of the arms has been folded and the gondola has been taken off, and that's been like that for quite a while now. Now again, this ride isn't new. It started life at Drayton Manor, of course, was moved here to replace the Enterprise they had, which came in for the fire back in 2000, and then made its way to Zodiac and was lovely repainted for 2001. Of course, that was a travelling model, and this one replaced it. There is our update from the island. So Thorpe Park preparing for Fright Nights. It's supposed to be off peak, but it is really, really busy today. There's a lot of security and police in there today, which is quite off-putting. So we've left early, to be honest with you. Partly because it's quite busy and it's quite quiet down the road, so we're going to head there. We are really looking forward to Fright Nights. I love Fright Nights here at Thorpe Park. There's always a good atmosphere. There's always a lot going on. And yeah, it always brings out the best in the park. Do I think the park's had the best year? I don't sadly think the park's had the best year, and we've encountered some shocking stuff today. We really, really have. It really puts a downer on it. We've been to, you know, a lot of parks, including Thorpe Park. We did come out and not film quite a bit. Yeah, just, I don't know. But let us know what you think. Are you looking forward to Fright Nights? How's it been at Thorpe Park this year? How have you got on? Let us know in the comments. We can't wait for Fright Nights. We have to point that one out. We can't wait for Fright Nights. I think the atmosphere is fantastic here at the park, and it's coming along really nicely.